Well, good morning everybody and welcome back. My name is Joel and this is A Stable Life. Hey, thank you so much for clicking on the video. You guys are joining us right as we are turning in for morning feeding. Sorry, Diego. There we go. I am optimistic that Diego is going to go right to his stall today. Nope, he went to Ava's. He's not very cooperative when it comes to getting him. He kind of has his own mind about himself. So, yep, see, now he's going to go to Rebels. I need to get in there before he gets great. There we go. Come on. Okay, so now Rebel went in his stall. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? Let me grab you. Oh my goodness, guys. We are off to a bumpy start for the day. There you go. Come on in. Go into your stall, please, Diego, please. Thank you. So as you can see, all the horses beautifully behaved. Go right into their stalls, no problems. Meanwhile, Suede's down here, just patiently waiting to be let in. So ever so patiently. There you go, Suede. There's Spitfire. Now we can let them all in. There goes Danny and Declan, Poe and Obi, Skywalker and Archer, Gavin and Samson, Sriracha and Weather, Tucker and Casino. You'll notice I didn't worry about any of these guys. These guys all go to their stalls. See that? No chaos in there. Everyone's going where they're supposed to. The only troublemaker is making his way up the hill right now, and that is Argento. Yeah, come here. Come here. Argento, 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 Argento. Here we go, Argento. All right. Oh, it's a good feeling when all the horses are in. Now we can get started on what we need to accomplish for today. I'll tell you, it really feels nice looking down there and seeing those 4 posts standing tall and pretty right where they need to be. That being said, they do look a little lonely. They definitely need their companions on each side. So I'm looking forward to us being able to get down there and put in some more posts. The goal is really to get them all in a day, but that day is not today. Today we are going to be feeding horses, and that is taking up most of our time. And we'll see what we're able to do with the time that's in between feedings. I'll need that tractor down there. Megan!
Hi.
Good morning, how's things going up here?
Okay. Just putting stuff into the computer.
Go.
What?
Tracy.
Yes.
Tracy. Look.
It looks like they're having a pretty good time up here. I just came up to grab a bottle of water. I think the 4-wheeler's warmed up now, so we'll head on out. Does that sound good, Callie? Oh, man, it feels good to be back at the build site. It'd feel even better if we were putting posts in the ground today, but we're not. We actually have a few things we need to do to be prepared before we put the rest of the posts in. As you noticed, the ground, pretty hard. And the postal auger that we currently have attached to the tractor is, well, the teeth need to be replaced on it. So we are going to work on getting those replacement parts before we put the next ones in. We are also going to be acquiring a bit of a bigger generator. One of my cousins has a nice big generator that I think he'll let us borrow. And we are going to be getting a jackhammer, an electric jackhammer that we can hook into said generator. That way it doesn't take us 6 hours to basically hammer our way by hand through the ground to get down deep enough to put the poles in. We want to make sure that these are deep enough, so that means a minimum of 30 inches in the ground. And it took us quite a long time. We could get the rest of the poles done said way, but it would probably take us another month to just get those poles in the ground. And like I said, we want to get this done in a day. That being said, it's so good to see the poles in the ground. Wow, they look like they just belong there. I love it. I love it so much. So that makes me happy. These are pressure treated, just in case anyone's curious. I never mentioned that, but they are. So I'm happy about that. For today, the goal is to unhook all of the things that we hooked up to get the tractor ready for putting posts in the ground. We got to put hay out for the horses. That feeder is bone dry empty. The feeders out here actually have quite a good amount of hay left in them. So I'm only going to put 1 round bale in the big field, and we're going to put 2 in the middle field. I don't know if you could see way up there at the grain silo. There's a nice little cow right there. Look at that. So cute. They're working on hauling soybeans today, which is phenomenal. That's always exciting, hauling your harvest out and selling it. That also means they're using their dump truck, which I was hoping wasn't being used today, because I was hoping I could use it to haul some rock. I was like, you know what, that'd make a nice quick job. I'd just run over there, fill it up maybe 3 times, 4 times, and that should be all the rock that I need to finish this ditch off. Yeah, that's not gonna happen because they're using it, which means we're gonna have to use the multilander. Woo woo. And I've learned from last time, so I'm gonna make sure the lugs are all tight before we go on it, and it's gonna be just fine. It'll handle it, it'll move it just good, and we'll use the tractor. So we're able to take about 3 bucket loads at a time. I know, I'd rather get a lot more done too, but you work with what you got. That is the motto of this channel. It's how we get everything accomplished. So even if we get 3 loads put in, and that's it for the day, it's still 3 loads that are in the ditch, and that brings us 3 loads closer to having our ditch full of rock. In case you're curious, yes, I know the tractor is still not fixed. Believe it or not, it's not like I'm procrastinating. I am still waiting on the dealership. I don't know if this is really flummoxing them or something. Still waiting. So I'm gonna actually fire this up, and then after it's fired up, I'm gonna call them and see if we got any updates, because I'm beginning to think this is taking a little bit too much time. Beginning to. It's not like it's a brand new tractor or anything. At least I can still run it. There is that. Well, we're off to a smashing start for the day. I kind of thought with Diego being the way that he was this morning, today was gonna be fun. And it's looking like that's how it's gonna be today. So, the PTO shaft for that postal logger, I don't know if you can see it right there, but it's still stuck on the back of my tractor. So I gotta take it home and we're gonna hook a chain to it, see if we could get it off that way. Otherwise, I'll have to heat it up and slide it off. But I don't wanna do that too much because otherwise you could damage your seals on your PTO shaft, so we don't want that. So, gotta deal with that. Gotta take these back so that they have them back at the farm. Then we can get started on hay. I'm only an hour behind schedule, so no big deal. All right, so we're gonna hook a chain to it, and we're gonna fasten one end to the PTO shaft and the other end to the 130, because why not? Like butter. Well, that definitely came off a lot easier than I think both of us were thinking. So we're happy about that. By the way, good morning, Peter. Good morning, everyone. Well, now we'll just head on back and get the bale spear on the front, bale spear on the back, and work on getting hay. I don't know how long Peter's going to be with us, but he's around for now. So we'll enjoy his company while we have him. Well, I think it's safe to say that all the horses are ready to get turned out. It is 11:53. I mean, I don't even know where all the time went today. It's just gone. Peter and I have all the hay turned out, so we got to get the horses out because it's lunchtime, and if I'm late, then that means everyone eat all the food, and then there's no food left over for us. Which means ramen noodles, which is nothing wrong with ramen noodles, but you guys have seen how good my grandmother's cooking is, and I would like to be able to enjoy a little bit of that. So, we need these stalls empty. What do you say, Peter?
Horses.
All right, darling, I'm here. What is for lunch?
Sandwiches and chips.
Whew, let's see what we got.
On the sunshine this morning, but clouds will continue to move in our backyard. Winds are out of the north. It's a little bit
We're charging you for this. You're doing great, Tyler. Keep it up. Well, lunch was really good. I actually ended up having a leak in my front third function valve. One of the O-rings inside went bad. So I just replaced that, and I think we're good because we're gonna be hooking up to the rock grapple to move some rock, and I don't like leaking hydraulic fluid, you know? So I'm happy about that. We're just gonna grab a few extra batteries, and we'll see what we can do. It's already 1:10. I'm thinking we could maybe get three loads in of rock, which really ain't much, but you know, it's something. So let's go hook up to the multi-lander and get the grapple on the front and move some rocks. Okay, good deal. No leaking on the front. Our back is all hooked up. Lugs are good. I believe the wagon is ready to rock. Rock! Oh my goodness, thank goodness. I was really worried we were running out of rock. I knew I really had nothing to worry about. More rock is here, so that's good, that's good. How much of this am I gonna need for that trench? I hope not all of it. That would really be a bummer. Perfect. Wouldn't be able to do this without that jack. If that jack wasn't a part of this kit. There we go. holds exactly what I thought it would, which is 2 loads. We can take 3 bucket loads at a time doing this, which is better than 1, even though it does take a little bit more time. I'm thinking that each bucket load is about 800 pounds, so this is rated for 2,000 pounds, so this is well within its wheelhouse. Got about 400 pounds to spare on it, so this should be just fine. Only thing that'd be better is if I had an army of them, or just an actual dump truck. Just a little bit too much weight for the 4-wheeler to haul. If we had a side-by-side or something along those lines, we probably could actually just have the tractor sit over there and have the side-by-side run the material back and forth, but it'll push the quad down the hill and the quad wouldn't have enough weight to pull itself up the next hill, so. I like that I could get in on this side though. That makes things a lot easier. The little spot over here, right here, this is where it's at, that needed some rock. Okay, perfect. And I think we'll just back it up and dump it on in there. That'll work for today. I don't expect to get to do this the whole thing this way, but I mean, every little bit helps, and until I'm able to use that bigger truck, this will be how we do it. That's good right there. Boy, you really got to make sure everything's in neutral. I've only had it turn off on me once, but thankfully I was on a hill when it turned off, so that worked out good. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. Got a nice dump angle on that. All right. That actually worked great. Wow, that was even better than I expected. Okay, 21 minutes was what that took me. So to get from here, loaded, and back was 21 minutes. Doesn't even look like I put anything in there. My goodness, so 4 bucket loads then per section. So that by that logic, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44. Oh my word. Only 44 more bucket loads by my estimate. Ah well. Wagon's fixed and everything's working. I'm happy. Let me say, loading the wagon downwind, not my brightest idea. Just checking the lugs on the tires. Don't need a repeat of that. Now you may be noticing there is more room in there. And I agree, there is, and I probably could heap this thing beyond heaped, but maybe later. Right now I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna go all the way back this time. That way, I don't have to go into the trench to open up the back. I think that sounds like a good idea, right? Woo! Sheesh! Well, that came out good, man. All right. There we go. That puts us at over an hour doing this. I got time for one more load before time for afternoon feeding. Woohoo! Well, we've run out of time. My average round trip was 21 minutes. So that's what it took me to get to and fro. And based on looking at our remaining amount of ditch that needs rock put in it, I'm thinking I need about 10 more loads, round trip loads. That's 3 bucket loads per trip to do this, and then we will finish this off with our nice stone over there on top. In case you're wondering why we're not filling this trench entirely with that stone, it's because it's expensive, and these rocks we are pulling from the ground from our rockiest fields. So this is how we are able to kind of cut the cost of this barn down significantly. So requires a little more work. It's not as clean as the fresh stone that's coming in, but it gets the exact same job done, and in the end we saved a couple $1,000s doing it. So that's pretty nice. So about 30 more bucket loads. That is the plan for the next day that we're here, which is Thursday. Now, Thursday comes around and say, hey, we got a dump truck available. Then I'll do that. Then I'll definitely do that. That'll save us a lot of time. Because basically, it takes me 4 trips to do an hour. So we're looking at, oh, it's not too bad. It's only 2.5 hours of work. That's not too bad. Running rock back and forth for 2.5 hours. I could do that on a Thursday. By the way, that's it for down here. Time to head on back and feed some horses and rotate them out of their pastures. Get the big field into the middle field into the big field. Let's get some grain measured out. Well, good afternoon, Archer. You ready to come on in for afternoon feeding, buddy? This guy knows his stall well. He has a suspensory ligament injury, and that is why he is in the lower ring. It's only gonna be for a few months though, until he gets healed, and then we should be good. So maybe by winter he can go back out with the rest of his friends, or possibly even early spring. Time will tell with Archer. We're gonna be following the sound of the donkeys though, giving them their food and Honey hers as well. Oh my goodness, look at just a beautiful day today. Wow, wow, wow. It's getting warmer too. They're calling for near 80 degrees on Thursday, which just boggles my mind. Which is exciting because that's the next day I film. So you guys are gonna be able to see that. There we go. You guys have your food. You have your food. I know, I know. Got a question about why the donkeys have started doing that. I suspect that they have started acting this way due to the fact that they are getting older and want their own eating space. We get asked often if we're ever planning on turning the donkeys out with the rest of the horses. To be honest with you guys, I'm not gonna say that we would never turn them out with the horses. It's just right now the answer is we don't really want them getting seriously injured. But you never know in the future. Maybe, so long as we can guarantee the fence is strong enough to hold those little guys in. We're not so sure about that one. They may be able to find a hole somewhere in the bottom of the fence and make their way through, and I'm not so sure they'd be so easy to catch. We are gonna be turning in the big field first. What was that? I'm grabbing a rope with this one. In your stall. Not the easiest thing to do with one hand, but you know, we were able to do it. And it's not that Diego doesn't know his stall. He's similar to Argento in that he chooses to look at other stalls. More of a troublemaker, that one. Let's see here. I think we're missing some. Yep. Come on, boys! Let's go! Time to eat! Did Honey go to her stall? Let's see. What a good horse. I'm really loving that mare. Such a cutie. Oh, look at them. They're all coming. Perfect. Whoa. That kind of just stands out like a sore thumb. What is that? It's moving so slowly. I mean, it's probably moving very fast, but... There went Gavin, and there's Weather. Look at that beautiful horse. And then we got George and Jack. Hey, George. Hey, Jack. See Jack's coat getting lighter and lighter. His winter coat's coming in. Hey, Suede. This is, of course, the middle field. Spitfire. Tucker. Goodness, he's huge. Hey, Obi, Skywalker, Samson, Argento. This guy will go into any stall that's not his. Okay. Come on. Woo. Only one left, and that's Casino. There he is. Hey, Casino. It's time for our question of the day. Our first question is by USB Phillips. The question is, how do you keep track of which bucket of feed goes to each horse? Are they labeled? They are set in a specific order. So, as an example here, we'll open up this little feed chart here. Okay, so this is one whole herd. You can actually see the lines. So this is Casino. And once you hit the bottom of Obi, we're gonna start back up here at Ebony and then follow that down. And you can see the line here. So this is a separate group, these four. So if I was saying doing Casino, what I would do is I would walk over here and I would grab the white buckets, because this is the group, this is Casino through Poe. And we would grab this bucket. This bucket doesn't really matter. It's just the order that you put them in. And then you got Casino, and then what's the next horse? Spitfire, right? So hypothetically there's Spitfire. And then if you notice, the last horse on that list is Poe. And as you leave the feed room, what's the first stall that you come up to? It's Poe. So going in that order, Casino's on the bottom. Well, guess what horse is all the way at the bottom on the left? That would be Casino. So we just kind of go according to that order, and so long as we keep that in track, you don't run into any problems. Sometimes when you get talking with the clients or with people or with the camera, you get a little messed up and then you have to go back through and fix it, but that's how we keep track of which bucket goes to which horse. Got a question from Doug L3, and he says, this is probably a silly question, but have you checked to see if your key switch is faulty on your tractor? I had that happen on one of mine one time, wouldn't start, thought it was the starter, but it just ended up being the key switch assembly. Great question, Doug. I got good news actually on that front. I don't know for a fact that it's not the key switch assembly. It could be, but we, by me and the dealership, have found out that things are pointing towards it being the crankshaft sensor having a faulty ground. And so that needs to be replaced. The only problem is that in order for that to be replaced, I can't just do that. It also needs to be rebooted through the computer, which is something that I do not have access to. So the dealership is coming here and they are going to be taking care of it. The good news is it's all covered under warranty, so it really doesn't cost me anything other than the expense of them coming to me, which is saving me a lot of time. So I'm kind of thankful about it too. And I'm hopeful that while they're here, we can find out that that is indeed the issue, get it fixed, and hopefully this Friday, my tractor will start the way it's supposed to. I know, this has been an issue the entire time we've been working on the hay barn, and it's just been one thing after another, one idea after another. And I wanna say, you guys are awesome. I've actually gotten emails from some of you just so kind, so generous, offering different suggestions for how something could happen here and maybe to check this out here. And you know, it's just so awesome to know that you guys are all there and trying to help just this little stable in northeastern Pennsylvania work its way through and not only taking care of its animals, but its property, and how we kind of all have developed a community here. So I'm touched and honored that you guys are so awesome and so generous. So thank you so much. I really can't think of a better way, honestly, to end the video. So if you enjoyed the video, which I'm sure you have if you've gotten to this point, a little reminder, hit the like button. That will allow the video to be recommended to more individuals. If you haven't, go ahead and check. Make sure you're subscribed. That gives you notifications every time a new video comes out. We upload 3 times a week, Tuesday at 4 p.m., Thursday at 4 p.m., and Sunday at 4 p.m. Those times are in Eastern Standard Time. So you want to get notified every time a video comes out, make sure you're subscribed. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Here's a neat fact for you. Did you guys know that horses have whiskers? See if the kid can get the camera. There you go, look at that. Look at them all on their little chin. You may have never noticed that, but yes, they have whiskers. Some more than others, and some are white, which gives them like a gray beard look. Kind of funny. I just wanna be part of your symphony. Hold me tight and not let go. Symphony. Oh no, I caught a pipe. No, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. Good. Just had to keep telling it to let go, and it eventually did. I knew that would work. Oh yeah.